Audio Jungle.
So the second part that is really important, I want to emphasize, are star ratings and reviews. 90% of consumers trust reviews. Businesses with more reviews are generally going to rank higher. And sometimes I'll see businesses who say, well, I have a 5-star rating, but they only have a few reviews. So businesses, even if you had a 4.5-star rating and you had 100 reviews, businesses with a higher star rating generally get, more customers. But sometimes if you don't have a lot of reviews, a customer is going to consider a different business that has more reviews because it seems more legitimate, even if their star rating is a little bit lower. So what I always say to businesses, you want to, everyone strives for a 5-star rating, right? Like no one likes to have a negative review. But my experience is from working with businesses over time, every business is going to have a negative review. Like it's going to happen. And you actually seem more human, I think, when there is a negative review in there and they're not all positive. I mean, we'd all love to have just straight up 5 stars, but sometimes people think that's a little suspicious. So no, don't take in that tear. It's not the end of the world if you get a negative review. But the big thing is you want to have a lot of reviews, because when you get those negative reviews, even if you're perfect today, you're like, I have a ton of 5 stars, someone is going to be mad at something over time. It could be a former employee. It could be an ex-girlfriend of somebody who worked there that left a review. I mean, I could go on and on, and probably stories that you guys are shaking your head on. It's going to happen over time, and they're not fair. But the reality is, people they understand when you have other positive reviews. But also, when you talk about all these things put together, reviews, listings, presence, it helps you rank higher. And a good way to think about this, with the reviews helping you rank higher because there's more reviews on there on the listing. If you move from second to first, you increase your customers from Google by about 226%. Moving by third to first, you're going to increase by 340%. And if you're at ninth to third, you're going to increase by 500%. So I always say, moving up one spot can really increase a lot of traffic for your business. So even if you're like number four right now in a huge city, going up to number 3 could have a big impact on yours. I also want to say, just because you're number 1 right now, maybe you are ranking well right now, but there might be a new laundromat that moves into town, right? So you never know what's going to come in. And also, it's not that just because you are 1 right now means you're going to stay number 1, because you could have competitors working on all of this for their own business, and then they shoot up higher than you. So it's something that you have to constantly work on to stay at the top. So you want some simple tools to get reviews for your business. And what we found working with businesses is that you can ask a customer. Now, in a laundry business, you're not always there. You might have an attendant there, but usually the owner, sometimes they are there, but they're not there 24 hours a day. So you can't always, ask every single person to leave a review. And even if you ask, it doesn't mean they're going to remember. So you do need to have something, I would say, tangible or different tools to prompt customers to leave a review, whether it's a sign in your business, whether it's review cards that you hand out. There's digital aspects that you could email or text them, share a review link on your social media to really encourage it. I always like to say, if you see a business with a lot of reviews, that is not an accident, right? The businesses with more reviews definitely are working on it. And not only do you want to have those tools to generate reviews, you want to make it a habit. So, if it's your staff involved that's there, if you have a staff and if you have someone someone working in the business, making it part of their routine. And this is normal. Like it's you walk into almost every business, you see them now asking, hey, will you leave us a review? Getting your staff involved really does help to get people excited about the process. So I think there's a lot of things that you can do in your business. It depends on how you run it, but the fact is, you just kind of need to have a process to make sure you're continuing to do it. And then monitoring reviews on different sites. We are able to help notify you of whenever you get reviews on different sites and be able to respond in a portal very easily, in particular on Google and Yelp. So not only getting the review, but also responding. And then one other piece that is important is, you have all these 4 and 5-star reviews that you love on Google or other sites. Well, amplify those other places. So if you have a 5-star review on Google, Great. Let's share that on Facebook. Or we can amplify it by taking all the 4 and 5 star reviews from across the web and putting it into one place. So our technology actually consolidates the positive reviews. Anytime you have a 4 or 5 star review, we're able to put it on what's called a testimonial page. So say you get a 5 star review on Google, it's going to go on the testimonial page. Then the next day you get a 5 star review on Yelp, it's going to go on that page. We wouldn't share the negative reviews, we're only going to share the positive reviews. And if you have a website, we can highlight it on the website if we manage it for you, or if you have your own website, we're able to provide you with the tool. So, in the event that you have all these great reviews, let's share that other places in addition to what we have on Google.